Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you're having a good day today. Good day for me. Blah blah blah. Yakety smackety. Have a little fun today. Let's do give you 5 fragrances, relatively expensive fragrances, and none of them are gonna really break the bank or anything. Uh, versus or I should say versus, but five, you know, expensive. I don't say expensive isn't the word. None of them are really super. Well, a couple of them are, I guess, but 5 more expensive fragrances and 5 cheap alternatives. And when I say cheap alternatives, a couple things. I'm not using clones in this because that would be too easy. And these are alternatives. Like I said, they're not clones. They're not going to be 100% exactly the same by any stretch of the word. But they're in the same type. They'll give you the same type of vibe, right? Some differences, things like that. But so before somebody nails me to the cross and calls me out for being an idiot, which you're prone to do anyway. So, but I'm not saying these smell exactly like their more expensive counterparts. They're just going to get you in the ballpark, so to speak, with these fragrances. They're they're alternatives. They're not clones. They're not hell. They're not even inspired buys for the most part. They're just alternatives. So let's jump right into it. We're going to start with probably the most expensive one on the list, simply because it is discontinued and everybody seems to love it except me, and everybody wants it, and it's going for two, three, 400. I've seen the size $400 online. Don't know if they're getting that for it. I'm just saying this is what people are asking for, but it looks like most people are getting, around $220 for it. So we'll go with 200. We'll say 200 bucks, and that's Acqua di Gio Profumo. Now there is a new Acqua di Gio. I think it's oh geez, it's Acqua di Gio Parfum or something like that. Acqua di Gio Parfum or something like that. That's supposed to smell like pretty similar to this, uh, but it's still close to that $200 mark. So, and I don't own it. I want to make sure I owned these fragrances. Uh, so I haven't even smelled that one, which is surprising because I've been in the store 1,000 times since it's been out. But I'm not an Acqua di Gio fan, so I generally don't gravitate towards them. Y'all know I'm not a huge fan of this. The only reason I got it is I got it for $20. It was a tester at Shoppers, and they didn't have it anymore, so she stole it to me for $20. So it's like, God damn. So yeah, very expensive, discontinued fragrance. You get that citrus and aquatic nature to it with some light mineralic touch, salty, kind of smoky vibe. You know what I mean? That's kind of what it is. So we'll say $200, and I think that's a pretty good price. I might be shortchanging this one, but $200. This one online is $34 at Fragnet, but it's also at Shoppers almost all the time right now until they run out of stock. So if you live anywhere near Shoppers Drug Mart, go see if they still have this in for $21.99, and that's L'Eau de Sea Pour Home Intense. Uh, a little more mineralic, a little more spicy than the Acqua di Gio, but you get that smoky, citrus, smoky, watery kind of vibe that you get with the Acqua di Gio. Like I said, not the same fragrance, but kind of the same color scheme too. If you think about it, maybe they were going for that, or whatever one came up first. I don't know, but yeah. So it's a good substitute if you don't want to spend the 200 and some dollars, but you still want to kind of have that kind of fresh, mineralic, smoky kind of vibe. This will do it for you, just with a little more spice. And like I said, there's a weird, to me, weird. A lot of people love this one too, just like that one. I'm in the minority, but yeah. So that's a nice substitute for that one. Save yourself quite a bit of money, even if you have to buy it at $34. Save yourself quite a bit of money. Next is 1 million. Now I know people say, oh, it's not super expensive. On discounters, it's still running you about 90, $90 on Fragby is 93.55, and I only have the little bottle because I'm not, again, the biggest 1 million fan. Although as time's gone on, I've learned to appreciate it more and more. So, and this is a little dabber. Just put a little dabble, do you? Cute little bottle. I love mini bottles. I do. Uh yeah, so 93.55 on Fragby. It's sweet, spicy, cinnamon, rosy, woody kind of fragrance, a little tobacco. As I've said, I've grown to like it over time. Again, don't love it, but it's definitely passable. A good alternative to that would be Avon Mesmerize Black. Mr. Black. Mr. Black. You can get this straight from Avon for $30, but honestly, you can shop this around. There's always somebody, some woman usually somewhere selling Avon. They've got too much. They're selling out of their stock. You can pick it up for $10 to $20, honestly. And it's not a bad alternative. It's the same kind of vibe, sweet, spicy. There's cinnamon in there. There's a little tobacco. There's some woods. Pretty close to 1 million. And like I said, if you buy it from Avon, $30, that's 93 to 30 is quite a savings. But like I said, you can always find somebody selling this for $20 and under online, because I don't know how Avon works, but that's what they're doing. Next is Sauvage. Now, somebody's going to say, I don't care how much it is. I'm never buying it. I hate Sauvage. Whatever, hater. This is still relatively expensive, even online. I'm not compared to retail. Retail, it's $40 or $50 less usually, but $125.93 on Fragby. That's quite a chunk of change for a. But Dior fragrances, and we'll have another Dior you'll see, generally aren't discounted that much online. So that doesn't surprise me. And y'all know Sauvage, citrus, pepper, ambroxan kind of vibe. Its alternative is Notebook, Whitewoods, and Vetiver. Couldn't find this one online anywhere. But Shoppers, again, always has this for $21.99. So, yeah, not, like I said, not a straight up dupe by any stretch of the word. The opening and into the mid is where this really reminds me of the closest it is to Sauvage. It's got a bit of that, well, it's got a lot of that citrus and pepper kind of vibe to it. A little bit of Ambroxan. It's not as Ambroxan. This is a lot smoother than Sauvage. It's about halfway through the middle of the dry down. This kind of changes up completely. You lose that Sauvage kind of vibe, but you get a nice woody vetiver, soft white musk and woody vetiver. So, it'll get you there for the most part. It is different in the dry down. I'm not going to lie about that. But for the first few hours of this fragrance, it's okay. It's an okay Sauvage-esque kind of fragrance. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, not as aggressive, a lot smoother, even a tiny bit soapier than Sauvage's, but it'll get you there. It'll get you there for the first couple hours anyway. Next, Aventus, but I'm going to do Mont Blanc Explorer because we're not doing these. These are designers. So, but if you wanted to, what's Aventus now? $550 some dollars? Ooh, God, definitely ain't worth that. I don't care how much you like it. It ain't worth $550, especially with all the alternatives out there. But anyway, that's besides the point. So we'll do Mont Blanc Explorer. Now, this one is inexpensive online. This one you can pick up Fragrance Net for like $66, $67. That's not a lot of money, honestly. It's a good chunk of change, but not a lot of money. But if you shop around, you can get that Aventus Explorer slash DNA in English Laundry London. Now online it's a little pricey. It's like $40 to $50 on most websites. I checked FragBuy, Fragnet, Perfumo. It's way too much for this. You can walk into almost any rack store at any given time and find a bottle of English Laundry something, and you'll probably find this for under $20. I mean, so it's not a huge savings. You pick this up for $20, whereas the Explorer is 66. So you're still saving 45, $46, right? So you get a couple of these, three of these for the same price as one Explorer if you wanted. The knock on this though is the performance. This is an old bottle when it first came out, and the performance still isn't that great. 4 or 5 hours maybe. I can't remember. Now some people say they get 7, 8, 9 hours, and that's great if they do. My skin just eats this stuff up. So, but again, I've seen it as cheap as $10. You get it for $10 or $20. Buy 3 or 4 bottles of it. It's going to be the same price as the Aventus or the Mont Blanc, and just spray it heavy. If you're one of the people like me that it doesn't work too well on, if you're one of the people that works great on, then congratulations, because it's not a bad smell. Like I said, a little bit of a not quite as smooth as Mont Blanc, but it's got a nice. It's like a greener Aventus, if that makes sense. Very nice fragrance though. Very nice fragrance. Very nice. Like I said, get it at your rack stores. And Shoppers again always has this in their $21.99 area. So if you live in Shoppers, Canada, and you can go to Shoppers. I don't know what the equivalent would be in America. Maybe Walgreens. I don't know. I don't know if they have fragrances and if they do that. But anyway, besides the point. Last is not least by any stretch for me anyway, is another Dior. So you know it's going to be expensive online even, and that's Dior Fahrenheit. I found it at FragBuy for $131.88. Surprised it going for more than the Sauvage. Yeah, I know the gasoline smell. I get it. People hate that gasoline. Some people like me love it. Some people hate it. It's almost a 50-50 scent at this point. It tends to be a lot of younger people that don't like this, and a lot of people, 35 plus kind of enjoy this. Not always, but I'm just kind of generalizing, but that's what it seems to me. But yeah, that violet and leather and sandalwood and florals. Gorgeous. I love it. But at that price, it's a lot of money, man. You can get CK Man for $35.95 at Fragnet. Quite a difference. Now, is this 100% dupe? No, but you get a tiny hint of that gasoline violet kind of vibe, but not near as much as in that. A little more spice, a little more woods, but it does have that Fahrenheit kind of vibe. It's really a nice fragrance if you like Fahrenheit. So yeah, that's it, guys. Just like I said, 5 expensive fragrances and 5 cheaper alternatives. I tried to avoid clones because that just seemed too easy. I don't even think I have. Well, I do have them 1 million colognes. This is Sauvage clones. I do have Aventus clones. I haven't found a good Fahrenheit clone yet, but I do have a couple. And I don't think I have a clone of Aqua di Giu. Yes, I do have a clone of Aqua di Giu. So yeah, I have clones for them all, but I didn't bother with them because I just thought it would be cheating. And this is funner. So again, before you message or comment and everything, and please do, remember, I'm not saying any of these, like I said, our clones are identical. They'll just get you in that mind frame of the fragrance you don't want to spend $130 on. You'd rather spend $30. And I get that. So, all right, guys. Peace, love, be good to each other, and be good to yourselves.